Tell me something I don't know. Like when it drop, whole game in the chokehold. I be out on a late night, opposite a play fight. See slime break night, this break night. My wristwatch is like a break light. And you can get it right on your gravesite. So tell me something I don't know. $50 pizza when I'm eating in Soho. I heard that you in love with the stuff in your hitting them. Hate me, they hate me. What should I do? Keep getting money.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the Oakland Raiders. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They're going to look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it. It really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. Back to throw here. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Jalen Smith in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to knock that one free.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 23. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Detroit!
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Detroit! Gone!
They go play action with Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
On 2nd down, Jackson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he gets it down to the 32. Call it a 3-yard gain, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56.
From the gun, Jackson steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The pitch goes to Barkley. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes him back to where they started. 3rd and 10.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
On 3rd down, Jackson being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And the kick by Butker is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive stalls out, but the field goal does get them the first points of the night.
And 3 points, not to be underestimated. How about this, right? You're on the road. You're under the lights. National television audience. This is not a dress rehearsal, partner. This is for real. And a pretty nice opening statement.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 44-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Richardson. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. A big play here for Buffalo. And even 60 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills are in. Butker is on for the extra point. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 10-7. Butker now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. They'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
3rd and inches, just turn around, hand it to the big guy and let him plow forward and pick up a first down. A lot of people think that the offensive line, they may almost take the play off because they got a big guy back there pushing forward. I think it actually works in reverse. I think they block harder because they love seeing that guy get the ball because he doesn't touch it very often.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to find some space to turn upfield, but this defense having none of it. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So they'll pass on what would have been a 49-yard field goal attempt, and they're going for it on 4th down.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick, and now running right through it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Just 11 seconds to go in the half as they have it 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Out to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Second and 10 now from the 27. Final play of the half here. It's Jackson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this 1st half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the 2nd half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the 1st half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. He's going to sling this deep down, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll drop the throw. Escaping the pressure right. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play here for the Bills. 44 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills will extend their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his second miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Butker now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football. I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll look to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to try and throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid fourth down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Gun!
They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Richardson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Looking to throw. Complete. Richardson has it. Gets through, and now an opening. Past the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Raiders have cut it back to within a score. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they score touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
And this is no good. It's a missed extra point. Boy, in a tight game, how important might that turn out to be here as the second half rolls along? So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
And the Raiders have got him.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Back now in the East Bay. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Jackson from the shotgun. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. From the gun on third down, Jackson. It's caught. Nelson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Jackson operating from the gun. Dancing to his left. A second spin.
Turning and turning and turning.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
The Bills on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And Butker able to put this one through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this is incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And now it's 2nd down.
NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The toss out to Barkley. Gets around him. And he's got some space here. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
Back to that Philly. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
3rd and goal, here's the option. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 5 yards out, and the Bills will add on to their lead.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about, assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
Butker now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Back to throw here. Flush to his right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Call that a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
That's it, baby.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Wide open receiver complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. They're going to look to throw. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Back to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Sliding out of the pocket. And that's going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. That is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Bills, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the LA Chargers. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.